Amazon has arrived. Yeah, they have. They have. It looks like Amazon has released their own Agentic IDE application. So now through Amazon, you can start building applications. You know, you've heard of Cursor, you've used GitHub's Copilot through VS Code and whatever other places that it integrates into. But Amazon, although they might be a little late to the show, they have released a agentic IDE named Kiro. How did they come up with that name? I have absolutely no idea. But we are going to be looking into Amazon Kiro today. We're going to watch a short video about it to get introduced. We're going to go through the documentation and we shall see if we actually have access to it. I've downloaded it, I've installed it, but I have not used it yet. We're going to see if we can actually get into it. If not, we'll go from there, right? But welcome to another episode of Software Explorations, Concepts and Overviews, hosted by usually Techodroff, where we are engineered to win, or like some of my friends like to say, I do my very, very best to annoy you. Yes, you to success. Get up off the couch, get up off the video games, and let's get to work. Let's be successful. But let's jump into watching this video and then reading some information about Amazon's new Kiro Agentic IDE software. So let's watch this short YouTube video really quick, and then we can get into this documentation.
Hi, this is Kiro, the new Agentic IDE that works alongside you from concept to production. Let me give you a tour of some of the features of Kirao. First, we'll click on that ghost hand icon on the left-hand side. Now I'll click the Generate Steering Docs button. This will help Kiro better understand the application when we prompt it later. Now that the docs are created, you can find them in the Kiro steering folder. These files describe a serverless full-stack web app that we're using with a Next.js and a AWS backend. Let me show you one of our most powerful features, Spec. I'll ask Kiro to add a new way to sign into our app using Google. Kiro is going to help us code this up and give us a step-by-step process so it gets it right. The Spec feature generated this requirements document as its first step in helping us create this feature. It has user stories and acceptance criteria. I'll review it and add another criteria to.
I'll say this: that is very helpful. A lot of people who are quote unquote vibe coders, for whatever that means, they will just prompt the hell out of things, prompt it on a prayer, and then they don't have they're not organized to have user stories, have acceptance criteria, have testing procedures. They prompt and pray and prompt and pray and prompt. And then they're like, I asked you to do this one thing, and now you totally blew it out of proportion. Now I have to roll back. So I think that is cool that Kiro is generating the user stories and acceptance criteria, because if you want to develop professionally, if you want your application to last, you're definitely going to be needing you're going to need documentation on how your application actually is supposed to work and how it actually works.
Improve the way sign out is handled. For this next step, Kiro generated this in-depth design document. It includes a mermaid diagram, infrastructure changes, and configurations. This looks good to me. We'll continue on. Finally, we're presented with a task list. Kiro has broken up this feature into smaller parts that it can complete one by one. I really like this feature because I can interactively have Kiro complete a task at a time, and I can verify or make changes if needed afterwards. I'm going to have it start on these tasks, I'll queue a few, and I'll check it along the way. This will take a short while. While it works, I'll set everything up inside the Google Cloud Console outside this video. It's been a few moments, we're now in task 5, and it's updating the Prisma update to.
So by setting it up in the Google Cloud Console, what they're referring to, which I'm not sure if I actually showed live on this channel, or if it was in a vibe code and chill session at techwithjoe.dev. But basically, when setting up their Google authentication, so Google OAuth, what they need to do is they need to go into the Google Cloud Platform, right, the console there, and they need to set up so that's what he's doing offline. They need to go and set up the project in Google Cloud Platform for this app. Then they need to say, all right, I want to set up the API for Google OAuth, right? So that's going to allow users to be able to sign in to an application using Google, and they're going to they need to set up like the branding page for it, get the client ID and the client secret. And what I'm guessing is once he gets that and Kiro gets done working, it's going to ask him to input the client ID and the secret that was generated for the OAuth logging API configuration, and go from there.
To include the Google account. Great, it's now completed all the tasks. I did a few updates during each task to make sure everything was working. And now let's take a look at the output. Here's the application. It has this new sign in with Google button. All the backend and infrastructure has been completed because of Kiro. If we test the login, it looks good. This next feature is really helpful. It's called agent hooks. To get started, I'll click the little ghost icon on the left-hand side, and then I'll click the little plus arrow next to agent hooks. I want this hook to create tests anytime I save a component if they're not already there. So I'm going to describe this in the prompt. On file save, add a few basic tests if not already created for each component. And then I'm going to click this enter icon. Kira is going to create this hook for me.
Did somebody say create test? You had me at hello.
And it'll be listening in that background for that file save. So I'm going to see it now inside the .kiro folder, this new hooks, and then I can give it a try. So I'm going to go into one of my components, and I'm just going to add a quick comment to it and make sure it works. So I'm going to type in test comment here, and then I'm going to open up the task list, and you can see it running already in the background here, and it'll start creating the tests. This will just take a few moments. Here's the new test, the Google sign-in button test. I'll look through it, created several of them, looks really good. Kiro does more than just development with specs and agent hooks.
One thing I would like to see, because I have created tests. I've created tests with Devin. I've created tests with Lovable. I tried to create tests with Kilo on a live stream, and I would say I would put it in order of Devin had the best test, although not all of them were passing. Devin said it would take about a few hours to get all of them to pass. Lovable was probably the next one, which they were decent, but still a good amount of them were failing. And with Kilo, not Kiro, but with Kilo, like nothing worked. It's unfortunately nothing worked. So I'd be curious to know if these tests actually pass, and maybe that'll be maybe that's when we can use Kiro, we can do a test of, can you create unit tests, or can you fix my existing unit test for this application, and see how much that costs, if it's able to actually get them to pass, all those details. Let's finish this video.
We also support native MCP and vibe coding. With Kiro, you can go from concept to production and beyond. Go ahead and give it a try. It's free during preview.
So that seems cool. I'm not familiar with Cursor yet to know if Cursor is able to do the same thing. What's the difference? I know they just recently released pricing for Kiro. So we'll take a look at the pricing as well. We'll see how we can get access to it. All of those details. Let's jump into some extra details about how Kiro works, Amazon's Agentic IDE. So Kiro, the AI, artificial intelligence IDE for prototype to production, and I'll say this, right? I'll say this. Working on some vibe coded applications, the going from prototype to production, it is no small feat. And from what I saw in my experience, AI will get you a good 90, 95% of the way there, but then the last 10 to 25% of the way, it's going to be slow. It's going to be a lot of effort because trying to depend on AI to do every little thing, that's when you're going to get these major issues. Like, AI is not good at focusing on the details. It can see the high level overview and make changes that way. But once you get down to the nitty gritty, that's when a lot of human interaction is needed. All right. So let's read this. So apparently there's a waiting list that's needed to jump into this. We already watched the demo. All right, so the first thing it says is tame complexity with spec-driven development. Please create, so this one, like, please create an opt-in email functionality. Kiro turns your prompt into clear requirements, a system design, and discrete tasks. So as we saw in the video, it is going to create your acceptance criteria, or your user stories, your acceptance criteria, all of that good stuff. Collaborate with Kiro on your spec and architecture. It'll build that out. It says Kirao agents implement the spec while keeping you in control. So at the end of the day, you have all the say-so over that. Let's continue. It says automate tasks with agent hooks. So as we saw with agent hooks, it can say on file save or on whatever, on change of something. In the example, it says generate the unit test. I would like to see on the generated unit test how they run. Are they passing? Because like I said, when I tried it with Devin, when I tried it with Kilo, when I tried it with Lovable, I have mixed results. I think the best that came out was with Devin, but I don't know. But delegate tasks to AI agents that trigger on events such as file save. Agents autonomously execute in the background on your predefined prompts. Agent hooks help you scale your work generating documentation, unit test, or optimizing code performance. As soon as I get access to this, I'm going to try unit tests because that is a huge portion of it. Unit test. All right. So I wonder if we could do like the UI tests as well, where, like, through Playwright, through Selenium, things of that nature. Go from vibe coding to viable coding. Let's see. It says bring structure to AI coding with spec-driven development. Kiro turns your prompt into clear requirements, structured designs, implementation tasks validated by robust tests, and code generated by advanced agents. It's the flow of AI coding leveled up with mature, I repeat, with mature engineering practices. So I can't wait to get my hands on this to give it a try. Built from the ground up for working with agents, multimodal chat, spec-driven development, agent hooks. Kiro gives you the best tool for the job in a fresh development experience that still feels familiar. Less context, or more context, less repetition. With specs, steering, and smart context management, Kiro understands the intent behind your prompts and helps you implement complex features on larger code bases and fewer shots. That would be really cool, especially when you're thinking about your token management, your credits that you have. We're going to look into the pricing of this tool towards the end of the video. Integrate tools and data with MCP. It says connect to docs, databases, APIs, and more with native MCP integration, so you can bring your world where you work. So with enterprise-grade security and privacy, you can ship your best work with confidence. It has autopilot. Strapping with autopilot let Kiro autonomously run large tasks on its own without needing step-by-step instructions. You stay in control, especially when running scripts or commands. And it has a new session, include the steering documents, so it can, like, learn your code base, your code, your rules, configure how you want Kiro agents to interact with each project via steering files, add context, coding standards, preferred workflows, or tools with simple command. Let's see. You can choose between Claude Sonnet 4.0 and Claude Sonnet 3.7. So they say that they're going to be adding more in the future. So I can imagine that they're going to have GPT-5, Gemini, whatever other models. Choose your own models. Some people might want to use DeepSeek. Who knows if they're going to add that? all of those good things. You can import your configuration from VS Code. I'm, as you guys know, I am not the biggest VS Code person. I'm more of a JetBrains type of person, but it is what it is. Anything else? Show don't tell. Drop an image of your UI design or a photo of your architecture whiteboarding session, and Kiro can use it to guide its implementation. That is super, super cool. You can get your UI designed in Figma, and the one that Adobe uses. Maybe if you're using, what is the name of the one that Google came out with the other day? Oh my God, I forgot. But Google came out with an AI UI design thing. You can take that image, drop it in here, and then it's going to be guiding. It's going to be guiding your design work. Witness the magic of code diffs. See code changes as they happen. Approve everything step through each change, or make edits with one click. Really, really cool stuff. Get started for free, but there's a wait list apparently. So I went ahead and I installed Kiro. And after logging in with OAuth, it told me that looks like you're new here. Kiro currently requires an access code to use. If you receive the code via email, enter it below. And I do not have a code. I joined the wait list. Basically, Kiro told me,
do not come.
So let's go back to join the waitlist. And now I am on the waitlist. They will notify me when Kiro is available. I should probably get an email for it. We shall see when the time comes. But as soon as we get access to it, we're going to create our live stream. We're going to connect our application, our one of our repos to it, and see if it can generate us some unit test. And we will add some more features to our application. All right. But before we wrap it up, let's take a look at the pricing of Kiro. If we go to pricing, so as we can see, there's a free tier that right now no one has access to. We joined the waitlist already. There's a Kiro Pro for $20 a month, 225 vibe requests, 125 spec requests, and pay per use overage. For $20 a month, they have a $40 a month, 450 vibe requests, 250 spec requests, and then pay per use overage. And then they have the Kiro Power account. Let's go with this one. Let's go with this one, right?
You don't know the power of the dark side.
For $200 a month, it is 2,250 vibe requests, 1,250 spec requests, and pay per use overage at that point. So I'm waiting to get my hands on this. Let's go back to full screen. I'm going to get my hands back on this. Really, really cool stuff. I can't wait to explore it. Can't wait to try it out. We shall see when the time comes. All right. But that is it for today. Hopefully, if you have used Cursor or anything like it, let me know how, because I have not used Cursor yet, right? Let me know how Kiro, the specs of Kiro, the details of Kiro match up to what Cursor is able to offer. Is it the same thing? Is it better? What pros do you see of Cursor over Kiro, and what pros do you possibly see for Kiro over Cursor? Let me know. Very, very interesting in finding out. But that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have not done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. Thank you to the sponsor of this show, Resume Flow. Get your resume analyzed. Get some details on how to help your resume level up. Find out how your resume matches up to the jobs that you are interested in by dropping in the job URL into the job analysis field, and it'll tell you how poorly you match up to the job, and go from there. Have it track your application from when you apply to the job all the way to when you get that offer, and have it create some interview questions for you as well. All right. Other than that, if you haven't joined us for a Vibe Code and Chill session, then what are you waiting for? Go to techcoach.dev, sign up today, join us this coming Saturday for our Vibe Code and Chill session, and you can interact with us, ask me questions. Let's build a prototype together of an application. See me working through my applications, all of that good stuff. techcoach.dev. Don't hesitate, sign up today. Let's run it up together. But with that being said, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys have an amazing, amazing rest of your week. It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. We are right there on the downside of the week. That means we have to ramp it up. We have to run it up.
People watch as the clock ticks by, but I'm the storm in the endless sky. I'll climb the mountain, no matter the slope. Fueled by hunger, fueled by hope.
They sit and watch as the clock just spins, but I'm out here chasing where it begins. I don't need luck, I don't need a sign, just a fire in my soul and a dream that's mine.
All I wanna do is win it all. Climb every mountain, never let me fall. Bet it all on me, I'm the one who rise. I'll break the limits and touch the sky.
I'm betting it all, no second glance. Got fire in my soul, I'll take the chance. No time for sitting, no time to stall. The world is spinning, I'll have it all.
They say the world just turns and waits, but I've got no time for those debates. The fire in my chest, it burns so bright. I'll take the dark and turn it to light. All I wanna do is win it all. Climb every mountain, never let me fall. Bet it all on me, I'm the one who rise. I'll break the limits and touch the sky. No retreat, no looking back. I'll carve my name on this beaten track. They'll say I dream too wild, too bold, but I'll write my story in lines of gold.
All I wanna do is win it all. Climb every mountain, never let me fall. Bet it all on me, I'm the one who rise. I'll break the limits and touch the skies. And touch the skies. No fear in losing, no time to doubt. Every whisper, I'll drown it out. I'll rise higher with every stride. The flame of passion, my only guide.